Okay, I want to categorically say this was Gaz's idea. I had nothing to do with this at all.
And he looks like he's still in his pajamas. You, Vazman.
That's his gown. Looks like a gown.
Well, Bushfighter shirt, man. Welcome, ladies and gents, to the most must-see podcast in wrestling history. It is the PWC Major Players Talks, and it's all about AEW, the All Out pay-per-view. And as always, with the Major Talks, I'm joined by our very own CEO, Mr. Nashville. We've got the Bald Eagle himself, Jeremy, and our classy little associate, Kyle, is joining us as well. The newbie for the group, let's call him that, the youngster. What's happening, guys? Are you guys good?
Yep.
Jeremy already started with these messages.
I told you I have a marker this week.
In case you guys haven't noticed, Jeremy's got a little friend with him as well. That's the big man Vader joining him for this podcast as well. You'll see him around. He'll pop in.
I apologize. There might be like occasional dogs, just random dogs. Kai is here as well. Come here, Kai. Come see other dog people. Okay, no, Kai is grumpy.
Ah, shit. He's scared, yeah. All right, so before we get into any of the AEW All Out stuff, we've got to have the fallout of SummerSlam and our predictions. And listen, these lots of predictions really did turn the tables a little bit when we go to the overall score. So as we know, before SummerSlam, Germany was leading 5-3-3-0 for Kyle because he didn't have predictions for Money in the Bank. But SummerSlam has turned things around. It has.
Oh.
So to start off, Nashville got the least correct of predictions in SummerSlam. Picked up 5 points. Five good predictions. That's not bad. Jeremy was second last with 6 predictions.
I was second last. Sorry, guys.
Second last, yeah. The voodoo didn't help you this time.
Not at all.
And then we had a tie for first place between myself and Kyle with 8 each.
Cena let me down. Cena let
you down. That was so overall now we're sitting, this is how it ranks. In first place, we have a tie between myself and Jeremy with 11 points. And then in second place, we have a tie between Nash and Kyle with 8 points.
Damn it.
2 one-on-ones.
Yes.
Make this interesting. Do you know the loser of this has to do like some type of up-down type style challenge, right?
Yes, 100%. The other 3 will decide what the punishment is. That's the way we're going to do it.
I'm thinking we get one of those Reaper chips.
No, hold on. No, that's unfair. You 3 are Indian. Okay.
Just about to say.
That is unfair.
I was hoping I was going to skate by. I was hoping you weren't going to notice that. It was like...
But apparently that stuff is hot, man. It's hot. All right. We'll discuss the punishments when we get close to the time. Let's start with our talk about the All Out pay-per-view. And before we get into any of the matches or anything like that, let's just get your general feeling of how you think this pay-per-view has panned out. Have you guys enjoyed the build-up? What are we expecting from All Out? Let's start with Jeremy. Just a quick analysis. What do you think? How do you think this is all panning out? Is it going to be a great pay-per-view, or are you expecting a bit of a flop? Are you expecting anything exciting?
I think going into it, the build-up for this pay-per-view is so heavily built around CM Punk. I mean, I know we've got a title match with Omega. We've got the Young Bucks with their whole super kick party and having that final match, having that tag team turmoil final match that happened last night, which I call, by the way. I'm saying that again. You guys will give me props for that. But I think it's being built heavily punk. It's going to be a punk heavy show. I wouldn't be surprised if the CM Punk match either opens it or closes the whole thing as the main event with Darby Allin.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, look, as much as I'm loath to admit it, and Prince is probably going to give me some stick about it at some point, AEW do a good show. I mean, they still, if you look at just the time that they've been around for and the product that they're putting around already, it's quite good. The only fear that I have for these guys is that at some point they like become saturated with talent. They've got like so many guys on the roster, and it becomes
They
too much.
already have a big roster.
Yeah.
In comparison to like other big companies, like you look at like Impact, they almost have double the amount of rosters that Impact has at the moment.
And I mean, I know we've still got more guys coming in. The one thing, can I tell you, there is one match that I'm quietly excited for, and it's not the guys. There's that match in AEW has really made me excited for these. As much as I like the Rumble and a good battle royal now and then, that ladies casino royal match, those matches, I just like the fact that it's like they come out in groups. One day I would like at some point that like one of those suites that come out, like they don't even make it to the ring. Like on their way down to the ring, there's like an all-out brawl in the aisle and everybody's just going to town. That's one. Two, at some point, one of the Jokers needs to win one of these things. They have the Joker, and
wasn't Adam Page the Joker the last one?
No, it was Leo Rush, I think, was the Joker in the last one, and even that one as well. That's like the key. You need to have somebody as the Joker, and I honestly thought at that point it was going to be Brian or somebody major coming out.
Well, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah. I'm actually quite excited for the whole thing.
Nashville, let me get your thoughts quickly on the whole pay-per-view. What are you thinking?
Yeah, this is going to be a good pay-per-view. I think the only mistake they're making is that they're making a WWE mistake of overloading the card. They put too many matches on there. My personal view is that we shouldn't even have a buy-in or a kickoff, pre-show. We should just have 7 matches, a main 3-hour show, and that should be it. But I see that they've kind of overloaded the card. There's a lot of matches on here that probably should be
10 matches on this card.
Yeah, 10 matches is too much. I think 7 should be the standard, 8 at most. So that's the only gripe I have with the card is very WWE-ish. But other than that, it looks like a good card. I mean, the talent that you've got here is, next to none. So it's going to be a good show, a very good show.
Carl?
Well, I'm not expecting much. So I've never watched more than like a couple minutes of AEW. So I want to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, this is all new territory for you.
This is new. So if you haven't caught my video on me and the missus going through the roster and having a laugh at it, please do so. But
it should be up on this. But if you haven't, we'll put a link there as well. We'll put it at the end. You can check it out.
I'm certain it is. And I just from me, I just want to comment on something Jeremy said quickly about the CM Punk placement on the card, because I'm watching it only because CM Punk is there. And I see a lot of people maybe hopping onto AEW just because of that. I would have him go second to last. I'd have him go on just before. So make your workhorse match just before his, because guys should be tuning in just before he comes out. And then as he wins, which I'm imagining he will, have the AEW champion's entrance run while Punk's still in the ring. Have them just look at each other, and then let's set the stage for that. So you're introducing effectively 6 guys to the world, or 5 guys with Punk to the world in one shot. Yeah. That's the way I would go if they were smart about it.
I like that idea. So just to give you my thoughts on the pay-per-view, I get why it's overloaded, Nash. They don't do a lot of pay-per-views, AEW. I think they do 4 a year. In fact, the two that they did last year, which was Fighter Fest and Fight for the Fallen, were basically dynamite shows this year around.
Yeah.
So I understand why they're stacking it to make it feel like a pay-per-view, like it's something more than just Dynamite or Rampage. So I get that idea. However, I do agree there's certain matches that don't actually belong on this pay-per-view. Coming straight to mind, Paul Wright, QT Marshall. I mean, this could have been saved for Dynamite. There's nothing great.
I don't even think that's a Dynamite match, man.
That should be on AEW Elevation or something. But only commentators.
That's an AEW dark match.
Yeah, and then the other one that I feel doesn't have a real place in AEW. It's a good match. It's the Jon Moxley Satoshi Kojima match. I mean, that should be done in New Japan. It shouldn't be done in All Out. So I understand those, but I understand why they're stacking the card. But let's not dwell on that sort of stuff. That's our thoughts. I have something really big that I want to mention later on in my predictions almost. We'll get to that though. We're going to start off with the buy-in, or what's predicted to be the buy-in, as tradition states in All Out, and that is the Women's Casino Battle Royale. And I know Jeremy's touched on this. He's excited for this. So we got two predictions. We're going to go through this one. We want your winner, and for fun, who the Joker will be. All right? So, Kyle, to help you out on this one, the Joker is usually someone who's not signed with AEW and is a free agent and surprise entrance. That's basically what the Joker usually is. Leo Rush was the Joker. I think the previous one, Jon Moxley was the Joker, wasn't he?
I think Christian's been the Joker as well. I think Christian came out as the Joker as well.
Yeah. So it's normally someone that they're going to bring in that's hyped up, but that isn't signed with anybody. So it's a free agent. That's the general idea. And normally it lands up them getting a contract anyway with the company. I think like 90% of the time. So that's the idea. So yeah, we want the winner and who the Joker is. Let's start with you, Kyle.
Sure.
I'm going to help you out a bit because I know, again...
No help needed.
Do you know who the contestants are, who they've announced?
That's why he was doing his homework with his masters there the other day. That was homework. That was prep work, guys.
I know who.
Yeah, so there's 21 women in the Casino Royale.
Yeah.
We've gotten, I think, 9 competitors out of the 21. We know it's Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Tay Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, and Red Velvet.
Okay. So lucky.
There's still another 12 women, which we don't know who they are.
There's only one name I don't know, and that was Diamante. Okay, but the rest, they all ring a bell. I've seen
Diamante normally wrestles on Dark. She hasn't. I don't think she's had a AEW match, Dynamite match yet.
Okay, and cool. Could be NWE guys in there as well.
Who's that?
It could be like, I think this year with the.
I'm pretty sure we get a couple of Impact and NWA people there as well.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna see.
Yeah. So now, anyway, Kyle, we're talking to you.
Sorry, guy.
Yeah.
No, okay. So my winner, and I figured that the stats on the website has to mean something, and I'm thinking about who's Britt gonna face next. So there's a goal. I don't know.
Sorry. That's what I think. The winner of this gets a future AEW Championship women's match.
Yeah. Cool. So there's a girl on this roster. Her name is either Cargill or Cargill or whatever, but she looks like Storm. She looks hot. She looks super strong. She's, I think, 9 or 10-0 at the time of this recording. That's my pick to win. And then, I mean, in terms of the Joker, I don't know. I guess I heard talks about AJ Lee. I suppose I'll hop on that bandwagon. But yeah, nothing more to add. I want to see Tay Conti. I don't know. Does this work like a Royal Rumble where you just chuck people over the ropes?
Yeah.
Cool.
So the way it works is they've got different tiers. So they'll start off with 5 wrestlers, for example, and then they announce the next cards. There's 21 cards that they announce, and then the next group come out until the very last one is the Joker that comes out.
That's a sick idea, sick concept. Okay, cool. Yeah. I just want to see Tay Conti not make a fool of herself. So I'll be reserved. But yeah, Cargill to win.
There's guys out there that think she might win the whole thing, eh?
Oh,
She's been on a bit of a roll lately. So let's see. Yeah. Nashville, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. I'm just going to base it off what we already have, the 9 people, I'm looking at Thunder Rosa because she's someone who's kind of, been on my radar for a while. I've heard good things. I've watched a couple of matches. I think that she deserves a title match. I don't know if she's going to get one. But my prediction is Thunder Rosa for the win. And when it comes to the Joker, I'm with Kyle on that one. I think AJ Lee, because Punk just made a reference this past week on Dynamite to his wife. You don't just make like random references, and he also referenced the Daniel Bryan chants. So usually when a reference is made, it means something is yet to come. So my prediction: Thunder Rosa for the win and getting a future AEW Women's World Title match, and AJ Lee will be the Joker.
Okay. Jeremy, what do you think? I know you excited about this match. You probably have a lot to say.
So, actually, weirdly not, because the Joker, my pick for the Joker and the winner are both the same person.
Okay.
And follow me on this one. We've seen this lady before in Joker gear. We've seen her on TV in Joker gear before. Come on, guys. Dorothy Prang. Or Prange. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. The former Ruby Riott.
Ooh,
Ruby Soho.
Yes.
That's her new name.
We've seen her in and she's posted some Instagram content and everything else. So she is gearing up to come back to the ring.
So the question I've got for this one, is her 90 days clause up?
I'm not sure because there've been so many releases. It's hard for me to track who got released when and when the 90 days when her no compete is up.
that is a solid guess. He should get 2 points for that if he gets it right.
Well, he will. If
He will.
she's the
Yes.
Joker and she wins, then he gets
This
the
is
points.
true.
She doesn't win, he just gets
Sheesh.
one. So my thoughts. Sorry about that. I feel this one going. I feel like it's going to be like a random winner. I feel like it's going to be someone. If we look at Britt's title run currently, she has literally beaten the entire roster.
Yes.
There's very little stars left that she hasn't faced. And I've said that many times, the AEW women's roster is thin. It is very, very thin. It's good. They've got a lot of green talent, but they need to get this talent to the next level. They've got a decent amount of good talent. I mean, the 12 names, the 9 names we mentioned are all good wrestlers. They just need to be better, if that makes sense. With that being said, out of the 9 that they've mentioned, only 2 she hasn't faced yet. And that's Julia Hart and Tony Conte. Okay. And Diamante, sorry, that's the 3rd one. She's faced all the others, whether it's title matches or not, so I'm not sure. But I'm going with Conte to win this one. She has been given a lot of hype lately. She's looking good. She's looking solid. I think she's
looking hot, dude. She is.
Yeah, it's not my type, but I get what you're saying. It's okay. But I rate she could go on it and win it all. Don't get offended because it's not my type.
I'm not offended. Just like it baffles me how Brazilian petite, very pretty, athletic is not someone's type. But okay.
And then, speaking of Peyton Royce, my Joker, and this is going to be an AEW swerve. Because I think the Joker's not going to be one wrestler. I think it's going to be 2 wrestlers. And man, I even say it, iconic wrestlers. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with the Iconics. I don't know what iconic. I don't know what they're going to come debut as. And I'm pretty sure their 90-day clause is up. Because there's a lot of talk about them already signing for AEW. So that's who I'm going with. I'm going with the Iconics on the Joker draw. I want to see Peyton Royce again. And I mean, Sean Spears is on AEW. That's her husband. Peyton Royce's husband. It has to happen at some point, I guess. Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to a match that I think is completely useless to have on the card, but we're going to talk about it anyway because it's on the card. And that is Paul Wright, formerly known as the Big Show, taking on QT Marshall. And I just got to ask the question, why? What is the point of this match? That is it. Carl, let's start with you on this one.
I think the point of the match is that when they signed Paul White up, there was a clause in there that said he had to have X amount of matches, and this is just a way for them to check some boxes. It's just so coincides that Punk is on this card, and perhaps for the more WWE faithful that are coming in to watch it, seeing someone like the Big Show on the card might also just resonate a bit with them. But I don't know. I don't follow the storyline. I don't know what's cracking here. I don't know who QT Marshall is.
Some background.
Does he need to win, QT?
Just to give you some background, QT attacked Siobhan in the ring.
Okay.
And then he attacked Tony Schiavone's child, and apparently Paul Wright felt offended and went to save Tony Schiavone because apparently Tony Schiavone and Paul Wright are really good friends.
Okay.
That is legit the storyline of this whole entire thing.
That is the storyline, but as far as I know, Shivani and Big Show were. I don't even know if they've been friends.
That's the thing. Well, they commentate together on Elevate, the other YouTube show, AEW Elevation, whatever it's called.
So is this what could have happened with Samoa Joe? And I'm not sure if you're going if I'm going off the rails here a little bit. Do you guys remember when Samoa Joe threatened Seth Rollins that one time when he came out? When he came out to when Joe was still on the announce desk.
Yes, yeah, I remember that.
So is this something like there's some riff on that whole thing where the retired announcer gets into the ring?
I guess, but the thing is, on Dynamite, Paul Wright was not known as an announcer. He was always just known as the guy that pops up out of nowhere. He came in, shook his hand, has a shirt that says "No BS," and that was Paul Wright. I mean,
but the mere fact that you think that Big Show can pop up anywhere, well, the former Big Show can pop up anywhere.
That's what it is. Like, we don't know if he's a face, we don't know if he's a heel.
We don't either.
And I can guarantee you, at the end of this match, he's probably going to shake QT Marshall's hand and punch Tony Schiavone in the face, and then becomes a heel again. And then 2 weeks later, hugs Tony Schiavone and becomes a face. It's Paul Wright. Come on.
That's
doesn't matter what show is on.
In this group. that could legitimately. If Vince Russo was still in charge, then I would think there's almost a 98% chance of that happening.
Listen, if he was in charge, this match would be Paul Wright versus QT Marshall with Tony Schiavone on a forklift.
Bro.
Anyway, we're digressing. Carl, prediction?
I want to see this QT guy win to further this. I don't think Paul White Big Show should be winning any matches at this point in his career, so I'm a back Mr. QT.
Just to give you some background, QT Marshall got buried like 4 weeks ago by Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
no.
That's buried.
So this is his resurgence. Yeah. Now I even back him even more. QT for the win.
Nash?
Yeah, this match, zero interest. It actually shouldn't be on a pay-per-view. It should be on an episode of AEW Dark at best. And yeah, man. But like Kyle said, I think they're doing this to appeal to the WWE fans. It's the same reason why there's a few names on this card. If you look at it, a lot of former WWE names to appeal to those fans who are coming in, I guess. And maybe, oh, by the way, Vaz, it's Shivani, not Schiavone. Just want to correct you there. And, yeah.
Slam.
How can Big Show pop out of nowhere? He's no Randy Orton. Do you not see his size? He can't just pop out of nowhere. Seriously. So yeah,
it does. Like there was that. I don't know if you guys remember. There was the feud with John Cena and John Laurinaitis, right? And then they had the whole he was like berating Big Show and all that. John Laurinaitis was baiting, and then all of a sudden punched John Cena out of nowhere.
Yeah, I remember that.
Exactly, out of nowhere. Like, and then 3 weeks later, he was helping John Cena get rid of John Laurinaitis, and then walked out of the company.
I wonder if he's going to have this many face heel turns in AEW. I have no idea.
Do you guys remember the way that he debuted on WWE?
No.
He came up from under the ring to So technically,
I
if I think about it, he's got a history of.
I was going to say, I remember him coming out of somewhere. Like, I remember he didn't come on the ramp. Like, I remember he just popped up out of nowhere. See? Yeah. Anyway, Nashville, give us a winner.
It's got to be QT Marshall. I mean, there's no reason for Paul White to win. It's got to be QT Marshall.
What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong?
My side, I'm just going to give you mine before we go to Jeremy. I'm not invested in this match. I think the only reason this match is on the card is to just re-establish QT Marshall. Have a veteran in the ring. Paul Wright is many, many years a veteran. His sole purpose in AEW now is to get talent over. That is legit his purpose. I mean, he's not going to wrestle every week. There's a few other guys on the AEW roster that should be following in his footsteps just to get guys over, and I'll get to that. But yeah, QT Marshall getting the win, getting over. I know it's supposed to be like, oh wow, QT Marshall's got this massive task ahead of him, but I really don't see Paul Wright winning. I legit think he's just there to get QT over and maybe put him in position to challenge maybe Miro for the TNT title or something like that. But after what Cody Rhodes did, I don't think there's any help in QT at the moment.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what's your thoughts?
This is it. I actually, seeing that he's making his debut, I don't think they're gonna debut him with a loss, guys.
Whose debut?
Paul White.
Yeah, it's his in-ring debut for AEW.
In-ring debut. So I don't think they're gonna give him. I don't think they're gonna go off the bat with a loss. I get what you guys are saying.
The thing is that if he wins, can QT survive a second burial?
I honestly think that Nightmare stable started off as a legit stable until they lost that Olympian guy to injury, and then like everything just fizzled out. Everything just like fizzled out completely after that.
So all of them are just destroyed. Powerhouse, Hobbs, QT, the whole entire faction was destroyed by Cody Rhodes. Can they suffer another loss like this, though? That's what my question is.
I think maybe they're going to use it to get QT out away from these guys. Maybe they turn.
Okay.
Maybe they turn on him. Maybe they all go solo and do their own thing. But yeah, I'm going to go with Paul White in this one. I'm going to go with no BS.
All right, no BS. Picking up the victory there, according to Jeremy. We're going to move on to the next match, which again, I don't feel should have been on the card, but it is. And that is Jon Moxley taking on Satoshi Kojima. This match was actually announced the day before Rampage on Thursday after New Japan Pro Wrestling aired. And basically the storyline behind this one is Satoshi is upset that Jon is not defending or not wrestling in New Japan Pro Wrestling as per his contract. That is legit the storyline, that he's upset that Jon Moxley is not in Japan kicking his ass. Jon Moxley is like, hey, I'm a wild thing, excuse the pun, I can do what I like.
Yeah.
Okay, that is his storyline. It is noted that Jon Moxley is signed to AEW and not to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
No.
So that's something interesting to note. But yeah, let's get some thoughts. Jeremy, let's start with you on this one. I don't know if you invested much in this one.
Guys, I must be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of NJPW. I've watched a few matches where you guys have told me, where you guys suggested
2 years.
Watch this.
Japan has been terrible. It has been the
most
convoluted storylines I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, unless you guys have told me, you know what, go out, watch this. I haven't. I must be honest, I haven't. I know there's a few cross references with the Bullet Club and that Rainmaker guy and in Tekken and things like that, but that's about it. That's as far as my NJPW knowledge goes. That being said, I think Mox has been on a bit of a slump recently, so I think this might be slump buster, guys. I think I'm gonna go with Moxley on this one. Yeah, like you said.
So just to give you some background to the other guy, sorry. Satoshi Kojima, he recently challenged for the middleweight championship, which he lost, and he's also part of the some faction.
Bullet Club.
Not Bullet Club, no.
That's all I know, guys.
The Evil Club. He's part of Evil.
Well, talk about doing exactly what it says on the tin.
All right, so we got John Moxley for Jeremy.
And
Nashville, let's get your
who are the
thoughts on
guys
this
that
one.
opposed them? The Good Club?
The Good Club of Evil.
Damn it.
I
Vince
think
used
Nashville
to
gives us a bit more insight.
storylines
He watches New Japan, or he used to watch New Japan quite a bit. Do you know who Satoshi is?
Yeah, I know who Satoshi is, and I absolutely despise his guts because he's the most boring ass wrestler that I've ever seen ever in my life. So, my interest in this match is absolutely zero. The only way that they could have made me interested in this match is if they added a hardcore gimmick or some type of street fight or something to make it more hardcore, because then I think Kojima and Moxley could have had a good match. But if not, then you know what? Satoshi Kojima should probably just retire. He's past his age. He should just, right off into the sunset. I don't know why he has problems with Moxley not being in Japan. Why does he have to come all the way to the USA in this match? This match has zero interest in anybody. They might as well have had Rhodes versus Moxley, and then you would probably have a more interesting match than Kojima. So I have absolutely zero interest in this match. I will fast forward through this entire match. I won't bother to watch it. As much as, yes, I liked watching Moxley, but this match is absolute garbage, and I will not be interested in watching this match whatsoever. I might just watch Moxley's entrance and fast forward the entire match. My prediction is Moxley for the win. Satoshi Kojima, just go back to Japan and retire. That's my rant.
Sure.
Carl?
Tell us how you really feel.
Nash is being spiky. Yeah, no, I mean, very similar to the Paul White match. I think that Moxley's on the card just to appease some of the WWE fans, and without really having to hurt any of their current top guys like Cody. They can really just beat someone who's from Japan, and no one would care about after the match is done. So yeah, Moxley to win. I'm hoping it's a bit hard hitting. If this match goes longer than 10 minutes, I'd be very surprised. But yeah, I'm watching the entrances. But I don't think I'd watch this match.
Look, personally, Kojima, I agree with Nash. He should retire. I mean, the guy's 50 years old now.
Oh.
I think he's even older than Paul Wright, which is weird to think that he is. How old is Paul Wright? Let's actually Google that one. But yeah, he's done all. He was the first ever Triple Crown champion, for New Japan. It's a match that I just feel shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And the reason it's happened, the main reason it's happened, is literally to get New Japan into AEW.
In fact, Jeremy's
show the audience
this match.
Kion seems to be interested in it, though. You have any thoughts on it? No. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, no, he's not interested in it either.
Paul Wright is 1 year younger than Kojima.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, so I think the whole point of this match is literally to have some sort of New Japan representation to show the world that AEW and New Japan are still talking, they're still together.
They could have had better representation than
It feels like filler, guys. It genuinely feels like filler.
Yeah, it is a filler match. It's exactly what it is. And you know what? Moxley's gonna go. Moxley's gonna win. It's gonna be as Jeremy said, the rebirth of John Moxley. And I think with regards to going to our next match that we'll talk about now, with Eddie Kingston and John Moxley being such good friends, I won't be surprised if we start seeing Miro and John Moxley start mixing it up for the TNT title. That's what I'm thinking. But John Moxley will win this match, and I feel quite comfortable in that prediction. Our next match on the card that we can talk about is the TNT Championship match, and that is Miro taking on Eddie Kingston. And for Kyle, Miro is formerly known as Rusev Machka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alexander.
He has been a TNT champion now for 5 months. And I think personally he's had a really good run as a TNT champion. Better so than the previous champion or previous champions. There have been some horrible ones, especially Cody Rhodes' title reign was horrible. in my opinion. Darby Allin's was good. I will give Darby Allin credit with the TNT title. But anyway, with Miro, Eddie Kingston, again, a match that was basically born out of a backstage dispute. The rumors were supposed to be Miro, Kurt Angle, after the whole Twitter exchange that they had and all that sort of stuff. But we got Eddie Kingston instead after Eddie Kingston accidentally bumped Miro backstage and they set up a match. That's it. They have had some sort of altercations in the past as well and all that sort of stuff. But it feels like, again, AEW is booking matches on minor altercations because they don't actually have much to do. So, in my opinion, Miro has had zero direction in AEW. He's literally a champ that picks random opponents and beats them. Much like Britt Baker. Similar concept. Whoever steps up, he fights them, he beats them. And I don't see this one going any different. I think Miro is going to pick up the victory. I think it'll be a much more difficult match than he's had in the past. But I think Miro is picking up the win. And I won't be surprised if Jon Moxley gets involved in some way or something like that to set up a future, like maybe long-term feud for Miro. I feel like he deserves it, especially after that best man rubbish with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford and the marriage thing and all that was just weird. He seems to get mixed up in these marriage triangle storylines. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with you, Nash. What are your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, before I get to that, you know the reason why he's getting involved with that. I don't think we want to go back to December 2019 and talk about the whole Lashley, Lana, Rusev thing, all right? So
let's leave that in 2019.
Lashley? Did somebody say Lashley?
Calm down over there, Mr. Headband. So the TNT title, I don't know what it is. There have been some good title holders like Lance Archer. Then we had Brody Lee, and now it's Miro. We've had good title holders, but for some reason the TNT title isn't clicking with me. It feels more like the US title. If you recall, the US title in WWE is like not even on the level of the Intercontinental title, even though the US title seems to be defended more than the Intercontinental title these days. But nevertheless, it feels like the US title. It feels like a lower tier mid-card championship. So I don't know what they can do to elevate this even more, because they've had good champions. They've got good people, holding the title that they can put it up on a pedestal, but it's just not clicking. But this match could change it, could bring the difference, especially if you're suggesting Moxley coming in and mixing it up with Miro. That could be a very good feud and a very good match. So, yeah, I mean, for my prediction, it's got to be, and I think only Vaz and Jeremy are going to get this reference. I think the winner is going to be Big Bartholomew. Too soon? Carl's lost.
I don't know if that's a name for your. Never mind.
Just go on YouTube and type in Southpaw Regional Wrestling. You'll see what we're talking about.
Okay.
Let's bring back Southpaw, man. I miss Southpaw. Like that was great. Yeah, that's half the cost is left. Half the cost have been released from Southpaw. Never mind. I mean, think about it. Good Brothers are gone. Tyler Breeze is gone. Miro's gone. John Cena's basically not there anymore. Fandango's gone.
What was oh man, that the guy with the money? What was
Tyler Breeze is gone.
Yeah, what was his
McElroy?
Mr. McElroy? Yes. Oh my God. If you want to see a Vinnie Mac ripper, man.
TJP was in there as well. He was also gone. He was the charismatic wrestler who was shy.
AJ Styles was in there as well for a bit. And then there was
they all had like little cameos. Seth Rollins, he was the butcher, remember?
Yes.
The butcher tapes.
Yeah, the butchers.
And tension with the Surfer Bros.
And then there was the Sea Monster, my personal favorite.
The classic Sea Monster. Okay, we I think we should do one about Southpaw. But anyway, we're digressing. Kyle, give me your thoughts on Miro versus Eddie Kingston. Let's not leave you out of this conversation.
So when I looked at the TNT Championship, I thought it was basically their version of the Intercontinental or US Championship. Second tier, given to guys to basically see if they can perhaps hold a championship, perhaps hold, the bigger one at a later stage. So when I looked down that list of names and I saw Cody Rhodes first as their first champion, I thought, okay, maybe let's just give this thing a little bit more credibility. And then it got passed on to some of the other guys. But the difference between this championship and the World Championship that I saw in terms of the numbers is that this one is passed along a little bit more. There's like an expiry date. With the World Championship, you see guys having it for almost a year. With this one, I mean, you've seen reigns as short as like 40 days or so. So I think Eddie Kingston winning would be a cool way for them to kick off everything that you guys are saying. Miro is a WWE name or a former one, but we can't have them win every match on the card. There needs to be some, fresh AEW guys winning as well for this new audience. Telling you, this pay-per-view is about doubling their audience or increasing it by about 50%. And they're not going to just do that by, getting people to get behind previous WWE superstars. They need to make their own. And I think Eddie Kingston seems like a likable dude. So that's where my win is going. I'm definitely cheering for him. I didn't like Rusev. I don't know Miro, so yeah.
Jeremy, let's get your thoughts on the floor.
Can you read that? I had to squeeze in the R. That's all I have to say. That's my to say. Look, Miro's gonna win this. For me. I think they're gonna do some type of long program, like you said, with Moxley at some point. I see a win, shenanigan related win, and post-match beat down, probably not letting that submission hold that he's got, that game over lock that he's got, not breaking it, and Moxley coming down. That's how we go from there. But
Okay.
I don't see Kingston really winning this thing at this point in time.
All right. Let's move on to a match that I know Nashville is excited for. He's been sweating about this match for months now. It was announced literally a month ago. And that is the Bastard Pack taking on Andrade El Idolo. Again, for Kyle, Pack is Neville. Andrade El Idolo is Andrade. Cien Almas.
And Nash is in love with
both of them.
Yeah, with all of them. Whatever his name is,
like
he likes
Neville
it.
he's like between Neville and Will Ospreay. I don't know who's more high on that mark right now. But let's start with Nash. I can see he's bursting. He wants to talk about this. What are your thoughts on Pac versus Andrade?
Oh my God, this is a dream match from you. It's still real to me, damn it. This match. Whew. Screw Moxley and Kojima. This is a match. This could be on before the main event. That's how good this match is going to be. If anybody has seen Adrian Neville or Neville in the WWE and Andrade, you know why I'm excited about this. This is a closet dream match come true. I had the same feeling when I saw. In fact, this match, I'm more excited for it than I was for Rollins and Edge. This match, bro. This match. This is like a dream come true, a rare gem. I'm probably going to keep this match on my phone and rewatch it over and over again. This is a dream match. And to answer you, Vaz, yeah, I think Will Ospreay is just a little bit higher on that pedestal because he's a little bit more athletic than Pac. But Pac, right there, just underneath him. So my prediction, I mean, it's obvious. I'm sure you've already got it logged in. It's going to be
already. Yeah.
This is my dream match.
Okay, and then from a very enthusiastic Nash to, I'm going to guess a not so enthusiastic Kyle.
Yeah.
You look very bored about this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Pac was cool. Neville was cool. But I don't know why. I'm going to say we because I'm Team WWE. I don't know why we released him. But Andrade needs to win. He's 1-0, I believe. He's new. I think he goes over here.
He's technically actually 0-0 because he didn't lose in
he hasn't.
AEW. He lost in AAA to Kenny Omega.
Okay.
So this is actually his AEW debut.
Well, the website has got him at 1-0,
ring.
so where'd that 1 come from?
I think he had a match on Dynamite a few weeks back.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he did. When Vicky came out with him.
The AEW match. Let's see. I'm going to Google this quickly. He had his in-ring debut. Yeah, okay.
Huh.
So it's his second match in AEW.
Vicky came out with him and then he came down with that mask. And then he took the mask off before he got into the ring, if I remember correctly.
So yeah,
Okay, yeah, you're correct. Yes.
Also,
he did
just
have
because
his
it's-
first match.
Andrade, just because it's so fun to just be against Nash in a match. So yeah, that's also half the reason why. But I mean, if I lose this, I lose it. It's whatever.
He had it at Road Rager.
Road Rager is probably one of their Dynamite midweek matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I can just see Baz
Maxendal. Oh, sorry, I'm busy just checking on my computer. Yeah,
That's working the Google machine.
okay, he took on Maxendal in his first match.
I don't know.
AEW Road Rager on the 7th of July. That's the last time he wrestled in AEW.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So you saying Andrade?
Yes, sir.
Jeremy, what are your thoughts on this match?
Okay, follow me here, guys. So because I call that spot with the tag team match, right? These two matches actually are going to tie in, right? So Andrade is going to go over on Pac on this one, right? Because he needs Pac to be out from that whole death triangle thing. So he can now take his place in there. So he goes over on this one with heavy shenanigans. Sorry, Nash. There is going to be a boatload, a Chavo-sized shenanigan in this whole thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we have more people getting involved in this whole thing. But anyway, Andrade wins here. And that's going to set up what's going to happen with the Bucks later on. Because, yeah, there's some long-term story happening here. And they need to have Pac out of the whole thing, or Pac seemingly deemed as not as, successful as he should be. So, yeah, I'm going with Andrade on this one.
Look, I'll mirror your thoughts there, Jeremy. I know Nash is going to hate all three of us for saying Andrade is going over. But I agree with Jeremy. I actually thought of this a long time ago.
Yeah, but Nash looks like he needs my sign. Do you need to make a sign there, Nash?
Working on it.
I'll be honest with you guys. I think Andrade fits better in the Lucha Bros or the Death Triangle faction more so than what Pac does. And I was thinking exactly the way Jeremy was thinking, that he will get involved in the tag team match. And I won't be surprised if we have a new triangle, maybe a different name, with the Lucha Bros, Andrade and Chavo and Vicky, all part of a new faction. It is noted that Pac's contract is almost up with AEW. There's 4 wrestlers actually whose contracts are coming up, which is quite interesting to note. It's John Moxley, Pac, and then the tag team known as the South African guy. What's his name? Angelico and Evans, I think it is, eh?
And Helico.
It's Angelico, yeah.
Helico.
And Helico, sorry.
Yeah.
It's a soft J. It's like
the soft J.
It's like
a tag team.
It's Jeremy.
Yes.
I just find that quite interesting that their contracts are all coming up to an end, and there's no word on if they've renewed or not. But yeah, Andrade going over for me on this one. Simple fact that I think the Lucha Bros are going to turn on Pac and bring in Andrade instead. With that being said, we're going to move on to a match that you'd think I'd be excited for. I'm actually
I know
not.
which one. I know which one this is.
Okay. And I'll tell you why. Like, I'm going to start off with my prediction first on this match. We're talking about MJF versus Chris Jericho. And if Chris Jericho loses, he will retire from in-ring competition in AEW. And I like how they specifically said in AEW there. And I'll tell you why I'm not excited. I love Chris Jericho. You guys know I love Chris Jericho. But I've accepted that Chris Jericho should not be wrestling anymore. Or if he is wrestling, not every week.
Okay. Call, time. Let's call time here. Time. Sidebar. When did you realize this?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I think I know. I think I can guess, but I want to know from you. While all these people on YouTube are here as our witnesses, I want to know from you which match made you realize that.
It was the Chris Jericho versus. No, let me just hold on. Wait. I realized that during the Labors of Jericho matches.
Yes.
All right. So we had the death match with Cage, which was was not my type of matches. I don't think that's wrestling. I think that's just stupid, to be honest.
My wife asked that question. Is this what wrestling's become? Death
matches for me personally do not belong in a wrestling ring. That's why I was never a fan of guys like New Jack and all those guys. Gage, I think they're not wrestlers. I think they're just stupid idiots. Excuse the pun. That love to get cut up. So because of that match was one of the reasons, and he looked old in that match. Chris Jericho looked old in that match, but so did Gage. Then when I watched the first one, which was Spears versus Jericho looked sluggish and like he looked tired. And what made him the most was against Warlord. What's his name? Wardlow. Wardlow. That was the match. That was the match that I realized Chris Jericho should maybe consider retiring and become a Paul Wright. Wrestle once every now and then. Or don't wrestle. Focus on Fozzy. Okay, he makes good music. Let him stick to making music. You get guys like Axl Rose and Mick Jagger. They're like in their 90s and they're still making good music. Jericho can be one of those guys. I'll still support him. And this whole feud with MJF has been drawn out to the point where I just don't care anymore. Like, I'm even going to say this. Yes, my prediction, MJF wins. And that's coming from a Chris Jericho diehard fan. Okay. MJF, in fact, he doesn't win. He needs to win this match. He needs to retire Chris Jericho because if MJF beats Chris Jericho, he is known as the man who retired Chris Jericho, the GOAT.
Yes.
All right. Perfect way to get him to where he needs to be that massive over-the-top heel that AEW have been planning since day one. If you remember back to their very, very first All Out, I think it was All Out or All In, one of those pay-per-views. When MJF came out, he was part of the Battle Royale, wearing his little scarf and talking on the mic, and everybody was like, "Who the hell's this MJF guy?"
Yeah.
What an ass! They were swearing at him. They were thinking. From that day, I knew MJF would become a great heel, and I'm glad they didn't change him. I'm glad they didn't try and make him face. There was a little point where they tried to tease him going face when he joined the Inner Circle. But I'm glad that it was all just a ruse. But again, this rivalry has gone on for way too long.
Yeah.
It needs to come to an end. MJF picks up the victory. Chris Jericho sticks to commentary on Rampage. That's what he must do. Maybe manage Inner Circle. That's fine. But don't wrestle. I hate to say it, but he needs to end his in-ring career. Anyone want to take this?
I'll go on. So
Canvas. That hurt, man.
It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie.
I can see that. Sorry, Kyle.
I'm sorry, Vas. Firstly, I'm sorry. But I said this to you when I joined. When I joined the PWC, I said to you that this is what Jericho is, and I'm sorry that you had to labor through all those labor matches to get to this realization. But yep, MJF needs to win. I think he is going to be our next AEW World Champion. And looking at it, if I'm booking the card, this match goes third to last. This match goes on just before the CM Punk match. Not necessarily so that there's an interaction, but just so that those who have tuned in a bit earlier gets to see someone that they are so familiar with in Jericho and the kid that just retired him. Because Punk is eventually going to have to face him. So MJF to win, I want to see him squash Chris Jericho and be done with it. That's my prediction. Don't have a predictions and opinions.
Squash, though.
Squash. Squash him.
Jericho can't go out on the squash.
Squash him. Squash him. I want a bonus point if he squashes. I want a bonus point if he squashes him.
I'll kick you out of the show. Jeremy, let's hear your thoughts.
So, I got to say a few things. I got to get a couple of things off my chest here because, first of all, I think from the very first time I heard that MJF cut that State of Pro Wrestling promo, not the one where he had the whole podium and everything set up, I was sold on this guy back then already. And I was like quietly watching what he'd become, hoping and praying that they wouldn't make him go face. When he joined the Elite, I was like, crap. But then when I started...
The Inner Circle.
Yeah, the Inner Circle, sorry. There's too many in there. Sorry, guys, there's way too many in there. But I'm not going to go into that one right now. Yeah, let's walk past there. But MJF, for me, is the epitome of a heel. He's not that heel, Kyle. Even if you watch his, like, the stuff that he posts on Twitter and everything else, the man is a heel. You have Make-A-Wish kids coming out there, and he's letting them have it. Brody Lee's kid, -1. The kid's name is -1, right?
Yes.
Brody Lee passed away. The kid was at ringside. MJF was taunting this kid at ringside. He is a heel. He is not even.
He's the perfect old school heel. He keeps kayfabe alive.
Exactly. And he comes out there, everybody hates him. Everybody hates him. His entry music is cocky. Even his entry theme suits him. It sounds cocky. It sounds cocky. And nobody, and I'm going to say this for a long time, nobody else needs to wear that diamond ring except him. If they have another match for that diamond ring, he needs to win it every single time because that's the type of heel that he needs to be. That being said, I do like Jericho. He was there and he helped create a list for one of my favorite wrestlers.
I don't know how you're going to bring that up.
I think I got away with that one. Yeah, let's move along. And so I'm going to go with MJF on this one. I do think it's time that Jericho takes more of a takes more of a break. Because the last thing we want, guys, and I've said this before on more than one occasion, the last thing we want is for the guys that we love, the guys that we watch doing this thing, where not only are they not able to wrestle anymore, they're not able to function at like any level. And I think maybe it's time that, Jericho does take a step back and, just watches from the side and gets paid while he's doing it and not get hurt next week. And there's no
Nashville,
cutting him up with a pizza cutter. Damn it.
Nashville, let's get your thoughts on this match quickly.
Yeah, I just think we're rubbing salt in Vaz's wound right now. All the hurtful things we're saying about Jericho. But yeah, I mean, this feud, it goes way back to when MJF was offered that opportunity to join the Inner Circle. And then I think that's one thing about AEW that I appreciate is that what they don't do in WWE is they have these longer storylines that they remember and they bring them back. You know, they make them like
Yes.
story arcs that they keep on. And this feud, and I don't know if anybody else feels the same way. It takes me back to WrestleMania 25 when Jericho was facing those three legends and telling them to retire, and he was against Ric Flair, you know, all those guys. So it kind of takes me back to that just a little bit. There have been rumors that he's been offered a WWE part-time or Legends contract in WWE. I don't know how far that's true. And I think we all should have seen this coming because recently Jericho has been a lot on commentary, on Rampage, on Dynamite sometimes, even on Dark. I'm not sure. I've seen him somewhere in Dark and commentary. So I think
Elevation of Dark.
yeah, Dark Elevation. So it seems like he's transitioning more into a backstage or a commentary role, which does suit him. I've heard him on commentary; it's very good. So
The rumor I heard they've offered him the head of talent relations at AEW.
yeah,
That's the
that's
rumor.
why I think they're specifically mentioning retiring from in-ring competition in AEW, not retiring from AEW completely. So he's still going to be there, and if he's ever on commentary and there's an MJF match happening, this would tie in so well with Jericho being on commentary. MJF being the guy who retired him could tell a great story on commentary. And my only concern is, where does this leave the Inner Circle? I'm with everybody on this one. Jericho, he did look sluggish. He did look like he can't, go at the pace he did. Not everybody can be a Ric Flair and wrestle right to the end of their time. But
Listen,
yeah,
Ric Flair should have retired 70 years before he actually retired, my opinion. But anyway.
yeah, I'm with everybody.
I'm sorry, I Love You should have been his last ever match.
Yeah.
In my head, it is. In my head, it is. I'm not
You leave out everything that happened in TNA.
completely. What's that?
Yeah, so I'm with
So now she's saying MJF going over.
It's MJF for the win. My only concern is, where does this leave the Inner Circle without a leader?
Sammy.
Outer Circle.
Sammy.
Let's press on. We spent an hour doing the undercard. This is now the main card, as according to one of the reports here. Chris Jericho MJF was known as the first of the upper card. Moving on to another championship match. We've touched on it a little bit when we talk about the Miro, or I did it at least with the Miro match, and that's Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Chris Stanlander, which was set up on Tuesday at Dynamite. And again, my opinion, it feels just like another competitor for Britt Baker. It doesn't feel like Statlander is anywhere in a position to beat Britt Baker. And again, I'm not going to say much on this one. AEW Women's Division has been poor in the sense that they haven't built up the undercard. It's literally been Britt Baker and to some extent Brandy Rhodes before she got pregnant. That was the Women's Division. I'm a bit disappointed because I thought Red Velvet had a good match against her for the title. I thought maybe she deserves a second chance. Statlander, she's faced Statlander before. She beat Statlander before. They're literally now just going through the roster again.
Yeah.
Also, again, watching this match, my prediction, Britt Baker's taking it. And I think if she doesn't appear as a Joker, which I'm hoping she does because then I lose that prediction, AJ Lee comes out and confronts Britt Baker. That is my prediction. I don't think she's going to be a Joker. I think she's going to be introduced straight into the AEW title picture.
I can see that happening more.
Yeah, that's my prediction. I'm saying Britt Baker taking the victory with AJ Lee confronting afterwards. Let's go with Jeremy. What do you say on this one?
Look, Britt by days. Britt for days. They don't have anybody else. And the thing is, she largely made herself the star that she is. I think she made use of the TV time that she has and she just pushed the envelope. And there's that being said, I see loads of shenanigans in this match. So much so that it might actually take away from what's happening in the ring. We're going to have at least 2 ladies outside. There's the best friends. I don't know if they're going to really mix it up or if they're going to get sent to the back. But yeah, there's going to be loads of interaction on the outside. Britt Baker. And I don't know. I don't know if they just bring in another person like post-match to come and save her from a beatdown or how they do it. I know AEW likes to do that. Somebody running in at the end and, oh my God, who is this?
Like Eddie Kingston coming in and saving John Moxley for some reason.
Yes, from that.
And now they're best friends. Yeah.
From that huge explosion. That one.
Yeah, devastating explosion.
Massive explosion.
Shit.
The whole arena blew up.
Kyle, you need to put that on your list. If you're watching AEW stuff,
Bomb.
make list.
Explosion.
Yeah, just
Was that Rebellion, I think, yeah?
Mind blasting. Finished.
Yeah. That and the blood and guts match.
I'm gonna record my reactions to this list. So
I forgot about that. The end of the blood and guts match. Yes.
blood and guts match. Okay.
That was Inner Circle versus Pinnacle.
Cool.
Inner Circle versus the Pineapple. Yes.
So just to clarify, Jeremy, you saying Britt Baker to go over?
Britt Baker for days, brother.
Kyle, what's your prediction on the Britt Baker Chris Statler match?
If Britt Baker doesn't win, I'm not watching AEW anymore.
It sounds like you haven't even started yet, brother.
It sounds like he's been watching AEW for years, knows everything.
I love the women's division.
I'm leaving it at that. You don't need to say anymore. Let's leave it at that. That is brilliant. Nash, you got to follow that.
Yeah. I think, Jeremy, you just see a whole lot of shenanigans when you see AEW, because I think 3 matches now you've mentioned nothing but shenanigans.
Have you watched Dynamite?
I have, but for a pay-per-view.
And nobody calls them out on this thing. No, there's shenanigans every single match.
He's not wrong. I've mentioned it on my pod. I've mentioned it when I did those weekly stuff as well. Like WWE gets all this flack for always having distraction finishes. Dynamite does it just as bad.
Yeah.
They literally, like, almost every week, something, the Elite screw over something, someone screws over something. It happens often.
And it also happens in Impact too. If you've ever seen Impact, especially the main events, there's always something happening in those matches. But yeah, I think Britt Baker for the win, because Statlander stands absolutely no chance. And there's actually something I want to add to what Vaz said about AJ Lee coming out. There are rumors that Adam Cole could possibly be joining AEW, and if anyone knows, Adam Cole and Britt Baker are an item, and AJ Lee and CM Punk are an item. So I've got a feeling that if they're going to have 2 husbands in WWE, or 2 whatever they are, there could be a mixed match challenge going on in AEW very soon. A mixed match tag team match, probably one of the Dynamites, or maybe even a Rampage. And then, we're going to have a co-main event down the road. AJ Lee versus Britt Baker, and Adam Cole versus CM Punk.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we're going to move on. We're running a little bit short of time. I've got like 10 minutes left, so I need to hit something in 10 minutes. So we're going to try and get through this as quickly as we can. Next one we talk about is the tag team match. It was announced yesterday that the Lucha Bros beat, of course, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Jeremy predicted it correctly. Well done. Young Bucks taking on the Lucha Bros in a steel cage match for the AEW Tag Team Championship. Jeremy, quick, where do you see this one going?
Yeah, I was about to say I'm going first here. Guys, follow me. Get your tinfoil hats. Let's go. Okay. So, Young Bucks win this. The Bucks win this, right? And Andrade uses that to say that if you come with me, we're going to have success because I won my match against Pac, right? There's no way the Bucks lose this, right? And then it's been teased on a couple of AEW calls and things like that. There is a trios title coming. And Andrade and the Lucha Brothers go after the trios title. I'm done. I'm out.
But the trios in New Japan.
No. AEW apparently are coming out with a trios title.
Yeah,
Oh,
I heard
okay.
about it.
Yeah.
All right, Nashville. I like Jeremy's thoughts. I like
Yeah.
Jeremy's
Super kick party,
Of
Young
course you do.
Bucks for the win. Yeah, super kick party, Young Bucks for the win. And as an extra, I'm counting 100 super kicks in this one.
Oh, are we
I'll
going
get to that. I'll get to that at the end of the show. It's a thing we're doing. So you're saying Young Bucks over. Kyle, do you see the Lucha Bros finally dethroning the Young Bucks?
I do. I watched a little documentary about when AEW started, and I saw the Young Bucks effectively started with the Lucha Brothers. It just comes full circle if they go and win it. The Young Bucks have been champs for a long time, although Robin's going to be really upset if her new favorite tag team in the world loses in the first time we watch them. So could be a little bit of a fight, but yeah, for us, for me, it's Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. Penta.
Yeah.
Yes, but Jeremy, very clever. I like the
Look, I like Jeremy's thoughts.
Of course, you guys
I
do.
didn't know there was a trio title coming into play. But with it being said, I still think the Young Bucks are going to retain. Maybe the Lucha Bros go through to the trios. Maybe Pac stays with them and they go for the trios title. I can possibly see Lucha Bros taking on Jurassic Express for the trios title. I think they're when it comes to trios, I think they are the two factions that actually have proper trios wrestlers. But yeah, Bucks continue their reign. At this point, I think they're just so arrogant that I don't think there's anyone who can actually beat them. And I'm maybe predicting maybe about down the line, the Good Brothers are going to turn on the Elite, and we're going to have a Good Brothers versus Young Bucks match. That's what I'm thinking. But that's very long-term booking.
Yeah.
Let's move on to probably the most anticipated match of the card. It is Darby Allin taking on the quote-unquote best in the world, CM Punk. You guys know I'm not a fan of CM Punk. I've never been a fan of CM Punk. I think it's cool that he's back. It's fun. It's nostalgic. But I don't think he's the best in the world. I don't even think he's the average in the world. I don't know. Look, in all honesty, for this match, I get CM Punk needs to pick up a victory. It's his first match back in, well, he claims since 2011, 2005, whenever he left wrestling. I don't know. I can't remember his timeline because he doesn't count WWE as wrestling. I get that.
Give all that money back.
But I guess Darby Allin needs a win here as well to get over. I think CM Punk needs to get Darby Allin over. So I'm going to go with a CM Punk victory. But I'm going to go in the sense that he's going to get a victory, but Darby Allin's going to look like a freaking superstar. I think he's going to put Darby Allin over as a future best in the world.
Yep.
That's my thoughts. Kyle, I know you're a CM Punk fan.
Yeah, I am a CM Punk fan. I do not think he's the best in the world. I think he probably was during a specific time. But yeah, no, I want to echo your sentiment. He's going to make Darby look like a star. Even go so far as to after the match, maybe raise his hand and walk out and leave him in the ring alone. But yeah, I'm excited. I like Darby. I've seen some videos of him jumping off ceilings and stuff like that. I want to see something like that. That's cool. And he seems like a very fluid wrestler, so he might be able to ease Punk back into this a lot better. But Punk has to win. I don't see it being any other different.
Nashville, your thoughts?
I'm upset with all of you for saying that CM Punk is not in the best in the world. I understand why Baz is saying it, okay, because he's a Chris Jericho fan. So he's exempt. But Kyle, I resent you for that statement.
Man hasn't competed in 7 years. Come on.
I do not care. I'm a Punk fan for life.
CM Punk or Pac? CM Punk or Pac?
I'm going to ignore that because I know what you're trying to do there. Between CM Punk and
CM Punk or Ospreay, which one? Best in the world?
I'm going to ignore you, Baz, and I resent you, Kyle. And I know Jeremy's probably writing down Cash Money Phil on that board, so I know what you're all up to. So CM Punk for the win, Darby Allin loses, and I'm a punker for life. Thank you very much.
Jeremy, you're the biggest CM Punk fan in the room.
Cash Money
See,
Phil.
I knew it.
That was
What are
the
your
one
thoughts?
from the other week, by the way. I didn't have to make. I don't want to waste any money making a new sign on him.
What are your thoughts? Quick, Jeremy. CM Punk, Darby
CM
Allin.
Punk, because he's there, and I mean, thank God he hasn't been in professional wrestling for all these years. I mean, he was off doing, well, getting his ass kicked at MMA.
What 0-2 record, eh?
Guys, he lost to a Power Ranger.
You're not wrong.
Okay? Right. That being said, I mean, the guy's back. I used to be a CM Punk fan, and I just hope he has a good match. I hope it's his first match back. I hope he has a good match. He has a good showing to the people that are still his fans and things like that, and proclaim him as the savior of whatever. And
He's
blah,
not the
blah.
voice of the voiceless anymore, remember.
Yeah, insert ice cream bar reference here and insert
So you're saying CM Punk to pick up the victory.
reference and
Yeah.
yada yada ad nauseum ad whatever. And yes, I just hope he goes out there, everybody stays safe. I know he's gonna win. I do like Darby Allin with his grandpappy Sting, and they're gonna be out there, and yeah, that's
Okay.
that's gonna be it. That's
Let's move on to the final match of the card. Kenny Omega taking on Christian Cage for the AEW title this time. Christian Cage already holds a victory over Kenny Omega. He won the Impact title from Kenny. Jeremy, how do you see this match going? The Omega. Okay. Perfect.
obvious.
Nashville, how do you see this match going?
I actually thought that sign was vacant. That's what I thought that was.
I'm agreed. I picked it up. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's got to be Omega because he already dropped, I mean, the Impact World title to Cage. So, yeah, Omega for the win. And this is probably going to be a very good match, yeah, for main event.
Kyle?
I don't know if it's going to be a very good match, but Kenny Omega to win. Is Christian any good nowadays?
He's
I
the
haven't
Impact
really
champ.
been- I mean, cool. You can be a champion.
That's,
Doesn't mean
I
you're
find
good.
that blasphemous. I'm offended by that.
I'm okay. I'm sorry I couldn't
Ignoring,
draw
Kyle's
an old
blasphemy.
sign. I'm sorry, but yeah, Kenny
I'm
Omega
saying-
to win.
I'm saying Kenny Omega wins. And I'm saying the only reason he's going to win is because of an interference from
Shenanigans.
Mr. Boom! Adam Cole, baby!
But doesn't he have a non-compete?
Joining the Elite. No, he was in NXT. NXT guys don't have non-competes. Yeah.
Really? I didn't even know
Yep.
that.
Adam Cole is going to help Kenny Omega. He's going to be the newest member of the Elite because him and Kenny and Young Bucks have been good friends for many, many years. They're part of the Bullet Club together. It makes sense, in my opinion. And
Damn.
with that being said, yep, I waited for that. Eh? Quick one before we hit all. We got a super kick competition going. Prediction: how many super kicks are we going to count in the whole of All Elite pay-per-view? All Out. I'm going first. I am saying 107 super kicks.
What? Is that a real guess?
That is my guess.
I
Kyle,
was just 21.
21. Nashville,
100.
100. And Jeremy,
97.
Guys,
97.
what? What are these guesses?
Oh,
You
you
haven't
never
watched
watched
Watch the Young Bucks match before.
Who's counting? Who's going to be doing the
I will
counting?
count. I will
you're
watch
gonna
every
sit
single
there-
match and count every single super kick.
Well, it's better than me doing it because I would have a shot every time there's a super kick, and I would never get to the end. It's like
have a drinking game of this.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us in this major talks. It was awesome.
we can't see your side.
Yeah, we
I
got
need to
this
bring
one.
something next time. I don't have anything. You guys all have signs, dolls, all that stuff. I don't have anything. But from me,
One is sleeping.
my favorite podcaster, Jeremy and his dogs, Nashville and his obsession with Pack, and Kyle and
Billy.
Lee. There we go.
He's got. You need a bigger sign, man.
It's been awesome hosting for you guys. We'll see you again very shortly. Enjoy All Out. Let us know your predictions in the comment sections below. We love to interact with you guys. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe and click notify. From me, though, your mother's favorite podcaster, and all my friends here on PWC. We'll see you guys next time. Peace and chicken grease. That's a wrap.
Cheers.
That's a
Hey
wrap.
guys, I'm for the run. I'm going to be somewhere.
Yeah,
be.
You guys can chat.
You're going to be killed during the podcast.
Hey?
I said